will be about critical incidence is one of the professional development activities. So first we will be looking at introduction. What are the critical incidents? Why analyze critical incidents? How to analyze critical incidents and how to identify critical incidents within the framework of classroom environment. And last thing, conclusion will be given. First, analysis of critical incidents is one of the approaches of teacher professional development. A critical incident is an unplanned event which takes place during the class. It is something we interpret as a problem or challenge in a particular context rather than a routine occurrence. So, the incident is said to be critical because it is valuable and has some meaning. In other words, incidents happen, but critical incidents are created because of their importance. So, what are critical incidents? Brookfield mentioned that critical incidents is any unplanned and unanticipated event that occurs during class, outside class, or during a teacher's career, but it is vividly remembered. And Richard and Farrell gave a similar definition. They mentioned that a critical incident is any planned and anticipated event that occurs during a lesson and that serves to trigger insights about some aspects of teaching and learning. So, the vast majority of critical incidents, however, are not at all dramatic or obvious. So, they are mostly straightforward accounts for every commonplace events that occur in professional practice, which are critical in the rather different sense that they are inductive or underlying trends, maybe in or structures, for example. These two definitions about critical incidents exhibit that a critical incident in teaching refers to a particular occurrence that has taken place during a lesson. So teachers make it critical because they think it is important and want to utilize it for future reference. In other words, teachers sometimes face some unexpected situations which make them surprised. So they take such situation to be critical because they learn from these situations. Why analyze critical incidents? So according to Richards and Farrell, analyzing critical incidents facilitates teacher professional development in the following ways. First, it can create a greater level of self-awareness. When teachers analyze critical incidents they encounter in their classes, they become more aware of what they are doing. As a result, they can notice a gap between what they are doing and what they are supposed to do. Second, it can prompt an evaluation of established routines and procedures. So, there may be some techniques or strategies of teaching preferred by a teacher in an institution which have become the established routine. So, which means they are the procedure taken for granted for each classroom. But when a teacher analyzes critical incidents, he or she can evaluate such routinized techniques on the basis of how his or her students are responding to those techniques. Third one, it can encourage teachers to pose critical questions about teaching. So once teachers start analyzing critical incidents occurring in their classes, they develop the habit of looking at everything critically. So they become careful about whether something they are going to adopt will really work or not. So they ask themselves questions from each and every aspect and angle. Fifth one is it can help bring beliefs to the level of awareness. In this step, teachers hold several different types of beliefs about different dimensions of teaching, and the beliefs they hold about learning, and teaching have an influence on the way they teach. So when teachers analyze critical incidents, they become aware of their beliefs and can also change them if necessary. Fifth one, it can create opportunities for action research. Here I will be spoiling some of the activities we'll be discussing in the classroom, which is ML activity, I'm sorry. So as we know, an action research is a classroom research that a teacher conducts to solve some practical and real problems in his or her classes. So after analyzing the critical incidents, teachers can focus their attention on some particular problems and can carry out action research to solve those problems. I believe that action research and critical incidents are hand in hand because critical incidents it grab the attention to conduct an action research. And concerning the last step is it can provide resources for teachers. So when teachers keep a record of critical incidents of their classes, this compilation can be used as a research by both new teachers and experienced teachers, and this compilation can be used as a reference for future professional development. So concerning how to analyze critical incidents, Tripp has suggested that there are two stages to understanding a critical incident. So this steps at first an incident is described and then it is decided why it is interpreted as a critical incident. So only those incidents which have significance in a wider context or maybe in a classroom context are viewed to be critical incidents. So when teachers report the critical incidents, they should follow certain steps. So the first step is given by Theo concerning the self-observation. Teachers analyzing critical incidents maybe by identifying all the significant and relevant events that occur in the classroom. The second one is describing what happened. So this is the second step in preparing critical incident reports, where teachers write a detailed description of what actually happened in their classes. Concerning self-awareness, in this step, the teacher explains the way particular incident occurred. The teacher tries to look at the incident from every positive angle to explain why it is happening. So the last one is self-evaluation. So I think this step is said to be the most difficult of all steps. So in this final step, the teacher evaluates what changes were caused due to incidents in his or her practices in teaching. Concerning how to identify critical incidents, so most of critical incidents occur in the classroom, but some events influence the teacher's personal and professional life. For example, a teacher may attend a conference where he or she is exposed to many different new practices. So she or he may interpret any of them as a valuable critical incident, which influences his or her attitude towards the existing practice. Then she or maybe he may decide to adopt this new practice in his or her career. Concerning Freeman, he gave a good way to identify critical incidents is you have to know the story in order to tell the story. So here it is necessary for teachers to put themselves at the center of telling their life stories. And the last key given by Brookfield, who emphasized on the use of critical incidents by a questionnaire. So this sort of activity can help teachers to deal with similar incidents in the future. So the only way to detect the incidents is by distribute questionnaire to different level of students. So as a conclusion, for the successful implementation of critical incident analysis, different aspects should be considered. For example, who the audience for the analysis is, whether we need to write about all incidents or all incidents are not critical. We interpret certain incidents to be critical depending on the situation and purpose. So another thing I want to throw out light is the report of critical incidents to be critically for analyzing is to or they collect their students' relevant feeling to choose from and so on. So thus, critical incidence is an unplanned, as I said in the beginning, and unexpected event that occurs during the lesson. So the report of a critical incidence can be added in a teacher's portfolio to show the evidence of how he or she changes some practice of teaching being used. So this is a plus point for every teacher who wants to use this critical incidents within his or her classroom. So as a result, teachers will learn from their analysis and their teachings or the way they teach will improve automatically. So as a reference, I used all of these reference. If you have any questions or you want to learn more about this PD activity, you can just check up all of these references. You can just ask me. I will let my email at the end, and thank you so much.